let's take the puddle jumper and head on over to Michigan for a minute. We got to talk about quite possibly my favorite, i.e. least favorite governor right now, Gretchen Whitmer, and boy, is she not doing a good job. I know, right? Everybody's shocked. Well, CDC Director Rochelle Walensky, Michigan should close things down amid coronavirus surge. Okay, it's one of the states that has been locked down the hardest since March of 2020. Right, you guys remember the stories? You couldn't even go outside. You couldn't even tend to your garden because, don't worry about it because there's snow on the ground, so you can't even go outside anyways. But meanwhile, her husband could go ahead and take their yacht out onto the lake for Memorial Day, but everybody else had to stay up in their house. Well, I guess if you're in a suburb of Detroit, you're going to have to make sure that nobody's going to come in anyways, so you got to stand watch. But let's see why this part-time CDC director but full-time racism advocate thinks shutting down Michigan is such a good idea. Rochelle Walensky on Monday suggested Michigan close things down as part of an effort to curb the state's rising number of coronavirus cases. When you have an acute situation and an extraordinary number of cases like we have in Michigan, the answer is not necessarily to give vaccines. Wait, what? In fact, we know the vaccine will have a delayed response. They'll use anything to justify their tyranny. It's very funny. Walensky said in a briefing with reporters, the answer is to really close things down. Why? Is that proven to work anywhere? Can somebody cite the source? Somebody, please? Anybody? Help? Hello? No, that's what I thought. To flatten the curve. No, we only need 15 days for that. We already figured that out. Decrease contact with one another. Yes, stay locked in your house, obviously. To test the extent we have available to contact trace. Okay, nope. It says this article was written April 12th of 2021. Okay, I just wanted to make sure, just in case we didn't go through an entire year. Well, we figured out where that entire statement is 100% full of bullshit. We tried to vaccinate our way out of this happening in Michigan. We'd be disappointed that it took so long for the vaccine to work to actually have an impact. So that's a statement from the director of the CDC, okay? Is that an anti-vax statement from her right there? I think that she should probably, if big tech were playing by the rules, shouldn't she be thrown off for making something so anti-vax as that? Like, she's claiming, this is her words, that the vaccine wouldn't work to curb those numbers. Weird, huh? Of course, what has always been my stance: if you want it, get it. Do what's best for you and your family. I shall not be partaking in such insanity. Gretchen Whitmer conceded Sunday that she is seeing a surge of coronavirus cases despite implementing restrictions on residents to combat the pandemic. But if you just look at our seasonal flu numbers, they're really, really good. We are seeing a surge in Michigan despite the fact that we have some of the strongest policies in place. Stop. Mask mandates, capacity limits, working from home. Whitmer said on CBS's Face the Nation, we've asked our state for a 2-week pause. So despite all of that, we are seeing a surge because of these variants. This bitch is fucking grasping at straws. There is nothing she wrote as justification. Fuck's sakes. Listen, just take a look at Texas. Take a look at Florida right now, okay? You let people go about their day. You let people just make the decisions for themselves. The numbers go down. Everything gets better. You just got to trust the people who elected you. But then again, I probably wouldn't put too much faith in them because they were dumb enough to buy your line of shit 4 years ago. Oh, you're going to face such a reckoning, and it's going to be fucking beautiful to see in November of 2022. So, okay, if we're going to go ahead and buy the line of the CDC saying that numbers wouldn't be affected with the vaccine, but, okay, why would Whitmer be calling on Biden to give him more vaccines, okay? So they're locked down. They've been locked down for over a year now. Some of the tightest restrictions, mask mandates out the wazoo. That's a place. But you won't admit that you fucked up, okay? This is a hilarious amount of hubris on display. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer pleaded for extra COVID-19 vaccines from the administration Friday as she contends with an alarming surge linked to aggressive variants and youth sports. What's the transition rate for kids, by the way? Or transmission, not transition. If it was up to Democrats, it would be 125%. But kids, unless you're talking about those creepy guys that sit on the bleachers and just, oh no, I'm just an enthusiast about Little League games, you fucking suspended wearing balding creep. God, they should be able to spot the sick guy and know where he lives because he has to let them know where he's moving into every new neighborhood. Anyone who looks at the COVID map knows Michigan is unquestionably a national hotspot right now. Take responsibility, dummy. The Democrat said at a press conference in which she called for a voluntary 2-week freeze on youth sports, in-person high school, and indoor dining. My team and I have regular conversations with the National COVID-19 Response Team. Seems like it's doing a lot of good work for you. And we have asked for more vaccines. Okay, you're kind of burying the lead on this one. What did you notice about that statement? Okay, asking for more vaccines, sure. Looking to lock down youth and high school sports and indoor dining, but she's asking for voluntary compliance. Now, if this was the Gretchen Whitmer of old, she would just go ahead and slap down a executive order. It's almost like she realizes that she fucked up. It's pretty clear by this because she's reaching out and just name dropping in order to dissipate all the negative attention she's been getting. Tried to ship it off on Biden. But this is a soft admission that she fucked up. And if she's saying, oh no, I didn't tell anybody to close down any further, if the science comes out to support the fact that opening up in places like Texas and much larger and equally as densely populated states would show that a different approach might actually work, she can't be held accountable because, hey, I just told them to maybe comply. It's weird. There's a reason why she didn't just drop the executive ban. Or the executive ban hammer, rather. It's not the courts. She's not afraid of defying the courts. Maybe it's because everybody's getting peeled off. Remember, Secretary of State was under quite a bit of fire for what happened with the election as well in the aftermath of that. Them walls be coming in. Oh, and also, she's claiming that she asked the Biden administration for vaccines. Sucks to suck. Biden's administration denies Whitmer request for extra vaccine as COVID cases surge in Michigan. Huh. Putting her out on an island, hey? Oh, please don't do that. And Biden, oh, please give us more vaccines. But did you ask for vaccines or did you just make this a total publicity stunt? Very funny. Very, very funny. Biden administration denied a request from Governor Gretchen Whitmer to bump up the state's allocation of coronavirus vaccines amid a surge of new COVID-19 cases. Michigan is currently leading the country in infections and hospitalizations for coronavirus. Whitmer said in the news briefing Thursday that she had spoke with the president directly to ask for extra doses. The White House said it wouldn't be fair to take supply from other states to give to Michigan. What was her response? Lock down harder. Doses are allocated to states based on population size. Yeah, and you have sucked so fucking bad. It's almost like it's your job. This pandemic has hit every state and every county hard. Jeff Zentis, the COVID-19 czar, I don't know, response coordinator for the White House COVID-19 response team. God, they have so many people on this. Fucking Christ. You think that they'd actually be able to do something a little bit better than what Trump was doing, considering, we're going to have a plan, man. Even though everybody in the fucking mainstream media was pointing out how Trump said that everybody who wanted a vaccine would be able to get a vaccine by April, and everybody laughed him off and said that that would be retarded. And then when Biden came out and said that, they were all standing and clapping because he didn't shit his pants at the podium. Fucking hilarious, dude. Oh, they don't know, thanks to these new election reform laws, they don't know what kind of a fucking bitch out they're going to be getting in like 6 or 18 months' time. It's fucking glorious. Hundreds of thousands of people have died, and more are dying each day. There are tens of millions of people across the country in each and every state and county who have not yet been vaccinated. Just don't look in red states that have been open the entire time, like Florida, even Georgia. It's still a red state. Come on, one election can't convince me otherwise. Texas, the Dakotas, Oklahoma. Where? Find a red state, point to it, look at the numbers. It's just fucking patently different than every other blue state. It really is one of those left-right issues. And the fair and equitable way to distribute the vaccine is based on the adult population by state, tribe, and territory. That's how it's been done, and we will continue to do so. The virus is unpredictable. Is it? We don't know where the next increase in cases could occur. I would just go ahead and stick on Michigan. Nobody's left in California and New York, so it's just the safe bet at this point. And you know that we push out all vaccines as soon as it is available. And that's what you get when you're asking for fair and equitable treatment. You want to live by the sword, you're going to die by the sword. And Whitmer was looking pretty strong there for a long time. The media ran cover for her. The fact that she was a woman, she was able to hide behind that because, oh, women are handling this pandemic so much better. Oh, just look at New Zealand, even though they have more sheep than actual fucking people. That's not even a joke, that's just an actuality. Whitmer's doing such a great job. Just don't look in those nursing homes and don't ask why you can smell the death from the parking lot. Still hasn't released those numbers, by the way. All those FOIA requests go straight into the trash. Don't look at the fact that she's been locking down, like I said, for over a year at this point. And the fact that Michigan are still reporting more than 7,000 new infections every day, 7 times the numbers reported per day in early February. Don't mind that. And remember, the big tech line is masks work, so do vaccines. And you can contradict the narrative if you're a CDC director. But I can't. I just present you with the information, which is right there, readily available, and package it up in a little bit more of an entertaining presentation. At least that's what I hope for. Anyways, guys, we're going to end on a little bit of a hope pill. How about that? Let's laugh at the little puppet who could, right? The little AIDS doctor, the little marionette puppet who finally became a real boy in the 80s. Fauci, it's still not okay to eat or drink indoors even if you're vaccinated. Why don't you go fuck yourself, pal? Or maybe he just couldn't find a way to eat indoors while he still had his 2 masks on, and he just kept getting way too many stains on the cloth mask. Perhaps that's his problem. White House Chief Medical Advisor Dr. Anthony Fauci on Sunday, 11th of April, 2021. Okay. Advised people who have been vaccinated from COVID-19. Remember, it takes a couple of weeks to hold off on congregating indoors or to eat or drink. Don't look at Texas and Florida, though. You don't want to get any of them freedom vibes. Mehdi Hassan, host of MSNBC's, who's shocked that he went on MSNBC, the Mehdi Hassan show, asked Fauci what is the message to vaccinated and unvaccinated Americans as to what they should do or not be doing right now. Why are you asking somebody who hasn't seen a live patient in over 30 years at this point? Why would you be asking him for any life advice other than how can you keep a job without having any real life experience under your belt for a lifetime of people's? For example, eating and drinking indoors in restaurants and bars. Is that okay now? According to Fauci, it's still not okay to gather indoors. He cited the level of infection and still really disturbingly high. He must be looking at the Michigan numbers. Or perhaps that he's just referring to himself in his commentary. How would you describe Fauci other than just a little tyrant who could? Oh, I'm looking at these numbers and these infection rates are so high. Look at their 7,000 people in Michigan who are just getting infected all the time. And everybody should just stop eating indoors. Go ahead, eat on your balcony. I can do it because my home overlooks the park in the middle of the city. It's wonderful. It's great. Doesn't everybody have a situation like that? Well, no. No. You out of touch dork. The vast majority of people just want to go about their day, and that is the best way to respond to these fucking morons who just don't get it, who won't take responsibility for their bad takes, their bad advice to govern their state. Responded to a question that I got earlier today. Nod your head and you'll walk away. You should stay at home. I'm going outside. You should put on another one. I think that there's some oxygen still getting into your lungs. They keep saying dumb shit like this all along. And go about your said. We gotta end on something super hilarious. With that said, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.